We hear a lot about
teeny tiny humans hanging out in hotel rooms. I mean, you are all tiny to me, what with your insignificant lives and your running out of whiskey when I come to visit. What's with that? Just buy more. No, I don't care I may never come around. You should have extra just in case. And by just in case, I mean in a case. You should have cases of whiskey for me.
the new wave in Wi-Fi or cellular service is 5G. 4G was a big thing.
Uh-oh, I think I know where this is going. And it's going to be really, really dumb. Like, ba-da-da-da-da-dumb AF.
Now 5G is supposed to be rolling out anytime soon.
Oh God, there's more of them. Wait a minute, you guys aren't tiny. You're just completely terrible at framing a shot. Like seriously, great sound, the footage itself is clear and focused, but to screw up the framing this badly, it's just distracting. Why am I, an absolute joke of a video creator, the only one who actually fixes this kind of thing? Come on, YouTubes, this is the kind of crap you should be punishing creators for. I'm not kidding. Can you imagine how much the average video quality would improve overnight if there was a financial incentive not to give me super eyeball cancer? Anyway, Fixaroonie. How much better does that look? Seriously, I should start charging for this, really.
I suppose bigger, faster, stronger, who knows, but...
That clip coming right after me making you two look, bigger, faster, stronger, is purely coincidental, but also too funny for me not to point out and take complete credit for totally doing it on purpose. Wait, I can't do that now. Damn it!
What are the concerns about that, and looking back at what we have now, what can we do?
With the half a page of rattling I have already done, you have probably completely forgotten the actual point of this video. It's about 5G. The mobile networking standard, and its dangers. Now, you may think, maybe it could have some effect that we have to be somewhat concerned about. And you might be right, I don't know. But the effects these guys are worried about, well, we will let them get to that in good time. And, it's a doozy.
That's a great question, and thank you. I'm concerned as well, but I'm not as concerned as many other people.
Oh, well, good. That means you're not going to spout some completely asinine or insane ideas about the effect of mobile networks on the human body, right? Right?
I'll tell you why. 5G is already rolled out in many areas.
Well, that's a strange reason not to be worried about something. That's like not worrying about your house burning down because it's already on fire. You're not just going to let it burn down. You call the fire brigade. Maybe you chuck a bucket of water on it if it's small enough. I personally, after having my own house catch fire, now own a small fire extinguisher, which may be the most grown-up thing I have ever purchased. But yeah, if you really thought that 5G was a big problem, you would do something about it. Unless, of course, you had some reason not to. I wonder if that will come up. Epic foreshadowing, etc., etc.
Well, no one's going to stop it. I was talking to someone yesterday who said, oh my gosh, we should have a class action lawsuit. We need to do it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's too late.
LOL. The idea of a class action lawsuit from your sort against a technology that you certainly don't understand, about effects that likely haven't and will never happen, is just flipping hilarious. Your Honour, we must stop the proliferation of this technology. Okay, well, what's your problem with it? Well, Your Honour, we really don't like it. Well, sure, why not?
It's already happened, It has already happened. It's been rolled out all over the world. People are beginning to feel effects negatively.
Effects negatively. I'm not going to say what negative effects those actually are, because... that would actually involve having studies or proof that anything is happening anywhere, anyhow, to anyone. And, I don't have any of that. But I do have vagaries, general hyperbole, sprinkled with a little bit of fear-mongering. It makes a perfect charlatan souffle.
They're also beginning to feel the effects positively.
I know he's probably talking in regards to the increased bandwidth, but, well, I like the idea that one of these scary things, TM, ends up curing cancer, filing our taxes, and giving everyone a 12-inch Johnson. Yes, I mean everyone, But I don't mean where it's supposed to be though. Most of humanity are already metaphorical member brows to me anyway, so why not just make it official?
They got a faster phone data, right? So the whole reason that 5G was rolled out was the fact that they wanted more data.
More data? That's not really the benefit that matters. You'll eventually get what you were going to get with time anyway. It's all about speed, and frankly, this kind of Luddite technofear does really get on my nerves, because put simply, faster speeds will lead to breakthroughs, probably services that we haven't even thought of yet. And while you make it sound like this tech is some scary unknown, they don't tend to release anything these days without pretty extensive testing. And your pals saying that since it was installed 6 towns over, they've had a vague sense of unease and nightmarish bowel issues that definitely has nothing to do with a non-stop diet of curried prunes. And it is in no way, shape or form a reason for anyone to listen to a word you have to say.
You know, but there's a price. There's a price to pay when we want faster speeds, faster data, real time, right?
And that terrible price is like $10 extra. Oh, what cruel fate have we wrought against ourselves. The end is nigh, all must repent, for the bell hath tolled, and it rings forth for your $10, if not more.
Because they're already talking about 6G. I've already heard about it. I mean, we're not even rolled out 20% 5G. We're talking about 6G, right?
Of course they are. Do you not know anything about how technological progress works? Most technologies are planned out massively in advance and sometimes developed well before they can be effectively implemented. Also, many technologies are used for military purposes and the like before they become commercially viable for consumers. So yeah, of course they are thinking about 6G. It would be super weird if they were not.
Got to keep the investors happy.
Oh shock, he doesn't know how economics works either. Dude, if they could get away with it, we would still be on the slowest, most garbage internet possible. Innovation costs money and has no guarantee of a return on investment, especially if it turns out the tech doesn't work out or is just too expensive to implement. Investors tend to be pretty risk averse. That's part of why you have stagnation of infrastructure in places where there's only one provider, because it's much more predictable to just keep things doing what you know works.
But the reality is this. I'm concerned, and what everyone should be concerned about,
waking up one day and your fingertips are replaced with wasps so that every time you try to pee you end up repeatedly stinging yourself and your John Thomas. It starts to swell up like a balloon and you float away into the sun. Wait, is that just me?
is not the EMF field itself.
I'm sorry, EMF field? I've got to assume by EMF you don't mean electromotive force, because, well, I don't think there's an electromotive force field, awesome as that sounds. And I don't think you mean EMF the band, although I do like the idea of being consumed by a field of alternative rock. That leaves me with, by EMF, you mean the electromagnetic field. So you're saying the electromagnetic field. I bet you're one of those degenerates that says ATM machine, aren't you?
It's the radiation component of that field. That's why a microwave has issues, right? It's the radiation that occurs when you're doing that.
I seriously doubt you know thing one about microwaves. The standards for those devices are pretty strict, meaning you aren't going to get hit with the radiation it uses unless it's busted up or you intentionally circumvented the shielding by modifying it. Also, I'm betting you think that radiation all means and does exactly the same thing. I could be wrong, but you do seem the sort.
Well, there is a radiation component to EMF, Wi-Fi, cellular.
Component? They are radiation. Radiation just means something that spreads out from a source. So X-ray is radiation. Radio is radiation. Electromagnetism is basically about radiation. So I'm right, aren't I? You think any radiation basically means nuclear, don't you? Well, I hate to inform you, bub, that if that were the case, no matter where you are or what you do, you are constantly being absolutely bombarded with radiation, day in, day out, from every which way. It's called existing in our universe, and while some of it is harmful, the vast majority of it is pretty benign. Like the sun. We wouldn't be alive today without its radiation, but as with most things, if you are exposed to it too strongly for too long, it can do bad things to you. So that could absolutely be true of 5G, 6G, 7G and beyond. But the big difference between those things and the sun is we don't control the sun. We don't have standards that allow us to tone down the sun to safe levels. You get what you're given and do what you can. The radiation we do control is heavily controlled because shockingly, the people profiting from it don't want to get deaded by it. Weird, I know.
That harms our cell membranes, our pineal gland.
Oh god damn it, here comes the full woo. Pineal gland, if you don't know, is one of those things that woody-doodahs have decided is one of them magic organs that is defo super important and does a variety of, well, sod all special, but the most common you will hear is that it is the third eye. You know, psychic stuff. Well, anyway, let's find out what it does today.
You know, one of the things it affects is right from wrong.
Are we talking correct and incorrect? Because I'm so sorry, dude. It seems that your pineapple gland must have melted. Is that, or you're talking like, quote unquote, good and evil, like we have a single organ specifically for that, and it's not something that we wrestle intellectually with every single day to try our best to do the right thing, and can instead blame any and all of our crappy behaviour on a single fruit gland, and Mars being in retrograde. That would be awfully reductive, wouldn't it?
I mean, that's interesting when we think about society.
Ugh, you do mean good and bad, don't you? If I have this right, you're literally saying that 5G makes us evil. You know what? I'm just going to ugh at you again. Ugh, sir. I say ugh.
And so it is a concern. It is a concern. If you put 5G out mass and didn't have any reduction of the radiation.
So what they should do is like put it out, but say make it the same speed as 4G. How very useful.
You've effectively increased the radiation throughout your country or city that you're in.
It's not that effective though, is it? I haven't seen a single Godzilla-esque gigantic radiation monster or troop of superpowered human beings battling to save a humanity that seems to hate them. I say we start installing nuclear power plants on every street corner, sans any shielding that might block out the magic juice. Hopefully, we will start seeing interesting stuff by the end of the year.
And that is a concern for me. It's a concern that it changes cell membrane and that it changes pineal gland function, which is the love of man.
What really concerns me is that there are people out there nodding along to this like it actually means anything. I mean, come on. I want you to show me this love of man gland. I need to look at it up close. And I'm sure it would be messy, but I'm willing to take one for the team. Even if I have to get down on my hands and knees and get really, really dirty. Why are you all looking at me like that?
Right from wrong, all these innate things that we count on in society for safety.
Innate. What? You think that society functions because humans have a magic dangly brain part that makes us love each other? Most people don't even like themselves, and society keeps us safe by having rules that stop the worst of us carrying out diabolical nonsense. Most people just want to be left alone.
So, luckily for me,
you fell down some stairs and now you am super smart brainer.
Years ago, I met and I was introduced to an amazing young man, 27, well, he's 24 at the time, and now he's 27.
That licking of the lips though, dude, you know, you crush on who you want, but do try to keep it in your pants while you're on camera. At least here. There are places where you'll make money for that. But the doctors, they always seem to be unqualified and down to smash at the drop of a hat for some reason.
Who invented a product called Key Technologies. And I ended up negotiating with him exclusive rights to market that.
And there it is. I don't know if you buy your own pineal BS and radioactive hoo-ha, but it hardly matters, because you got something to sell. Something exclusive to you to boot, apparently. So that ain't a conflict of interest or anything, is it? 5G turning us all into supervillains is defo real, cause I have something to sell to fix it. No, you can't test the idea. Oh, snake oil salesman, will you ever change? And by change, I mean get driven into the oceans en masse by a giant radioactive pineapple called Pinealzilla. Do you find yourself wondering, how can me show humans I am the smart? Is am the way to thinking being a purchase? Well, to answer your incredibly poorly worded questions, yes, I think. Honestly, I have no idea what you want, but I'll be damned if I don't take this as an opportunity to sell you things. Like new improved Sick brand merch, now featuring the designer of almost all Sick brand merch. Right, the name's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say Cheryl Pringle? No, wait, it's Mrs. Sick. That's right. I always forget she exists. Also, handsome, famous, and good at the sex tease. Ampersand, not forgetting this pretty badass comic book style one that I would buy myself if I wasn't so poor. Sick brand merch, because we're tired of eating stray cats. Oh, there's one now. Get it!